Hello, pile number one, and welcome to your reading. Thank you so very much for being here today. So just tapping into your energy, if I can get you guys to focus in on your breathing while I set the intentions to align with you. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is your guys' third eye. Your guys' third eye has been very, very open recently. I'm seeing the number 22 as well. So I feel as though you guys have been on a journey of working on making things better. I think you've actually been focused on creating new experiences for yourself. Things that you're not completely used to. You want to learn new things about yourselves. And I think you guys are looking to new areas of life that you're not used to or you haven't indulged in for quite some time. I also feel, pile number one, that you guys are going to be shining over the next 30 days, and the more that you embrace your divine feminine energy, which we'll touch on very shortly. So I feel like a lot of the lessons over the next 30 to 60 days for you guys in particular is going to highlight the focuses of self-love through new experiences and self-discovery. What I'm hearing is don't hesitate to move when you instinctually feel the call, because how your guides are going to be working with you is you guys are going to be seeing things very clearly. You know what I'm saying? Because your third eye is open. So you're going to be predicting things a lot more clearer. You're going to be much more in touch with awareness of self and awareness of environment. This is going to help develop your sight to see where it is that you can take independent action and how it is that you can best kind of remove negative energy or dispel negative energy, because I think that's the part of your divine feminine energy that's being highlighted right now. The way it wishes to move through you, from what I am feeling here, is it wishes to flow. You guys need to drink some more water. What this does, especially when you drink water with intention, is it flushes stagnant energy from your system and allows you to welcome in vibration and frequency in new forms, which makes your inner being lighter. Does that make sense? The thing about your being is you're mainly made of water. You know what I'm saying? So if you are aware of that, and you're aware of how cycles of the moon affect water, you'll also gain a deeper understanding of how it is that vibration around you and what sorts of frequencies and vibrations and matter you allow in your energetic field affects your internal balance. You guys are going to be, well, what I feel here from the divine feminine energy is you're wanting to create a better relationship with yourself so that you can create the quality of what you are living inside. Does that make sense? Okay, so I also see here a number 7 is going to be a huge focus for you guys. I think this is because, once again, 7 is highlighting the idea of responsibility and self-development. It's highlighting mysticism as well. So you guys are going to see a lot of repeating signs and synchronicities outside of you that will be confirming and kind of nudging you in certain directions in life. So what your guides are encouraging you to do is, once again, heed the call. When you see these things, when it resonates with you, when your intuition is pointing you into a certain direction, it's for a reason. And I feel like this is how your divine feminine energy wishes to develop and to kind of move through you, because there's a lot of regeneration that is being ready to be welcomed in. And with regeneration comes renewal. You know what I'm saying here? That might intimidate you a little bit, but this is how you're going to be welcoming in new energy that is going to promote better times ahead of you, if that makes sense. And as I looked down before, I saw 433. So 4 is all about stability, the home, feeling security, and understanding foundations and what solidifies security. With the number 33, this talks about authentic expression, authentic exchanges, authentic alignment. And I feel like this is going to have a big part to play when it comes to how it is that your divine feminine energy wishes to express itself through you, how your internal essence, how your nature wishes to move through you into the world outside. So let's go ahead and take a look. How does your divine feminine energy wish to express itself at this time? We have the Firefly. So it wants to discover new things. The Firefly is all about getting sparks of inspiration, but as quickly as they come is as quickly as they leave. So you're going to have a lot of ideas coming from your divine feminine energy that's going to be inspiring you into certain directions, or certain or to create certain things in your life over the next 30 days. I feel like there's been an advancement within your ability to understand your own flow. And what I mean by that is how your mind works with your heart. And I think in the past you've been recognizing how it is that your heart and mind has actually been kind of at battle with one another. And I think your divine feminine energy, what it's trying to do is help you to learn what it means to cure yourself by bringing your attention to certain areas of life that need to evolve. When we're not in touch with our divine feminine energy, we see our divine feminine energy manifest outside of us, because our masculine on the outside reproduces the quality of the feminine on the inside. This is why the queen protects the king. You see what I'm saying? Your internal balance, the way you think, your attitudes, your behaviors, your moral compass is what protects the experiences that your physical being goes through. Does that make sense? And I think this, what it is that your feminine energy is really wanting to work on for you is creating more joy in your life, more hope, more room to expand and to grow and to experience things that you don't know, especially about yourself. The thing is about you, pile number one, you don't really understand how beautiful you really are. You really don't. And that's what I'm feeling here from the divine feminine energy. I know it might sound like I'm blowing smoke, but I'm really not. That's the pressure that I'm feeling here. Like, the way you're fighting yourself is you're talking yourself out of your own inner beauty, your own inner essence, and your own inner nature. And that is the untapped potential that is wanting to come through and manifest for you as guided by the feminine. I feel like what else will happen is that your divine feminine energy, the more it is embraced, the more you're going to feel a balance come to your emotions. And I also feel as though that's where you're going to find your power and self-sustainability. Am I making sense? I hope so, because I'm channeling right now, sorry, pile number one. So I'm not, I'm not completely present of what it is that I'm saying. I'm just following the energy here. Yeah, this is because you guys are very self-aware. I don't really need these cards. You guys are telling me about yourselves as we're reading here. You guys are very self-aware. And I think you're very good at bringing light to dark places, which naturally dispels negative energy as it is. The only thing about this, pile number one, that I hear cautious of coming from your feminine is that you're not using humor to mask your true feelings, because what that does, it creates defense mechanisms that keeps healing away and keeps you through a painful loop of repeating karmic lessons. And this is what your divine feminine energy is very talented at doing, is very skillful and very masterful at doing, is unhooking yourself from past times and past karmic loops and past lessons that you already know very well and have already grown through and completed. Your feminine energy helps you to put complete endings to these things so that you can welcome in a new energy. And I think these are the lessons that you have been going through and rounding up already. I think this is more of a reading of a confirmation for you guys of what it is that you have been going through. I also feel here you're growing in power because your self-awareness is emitting into your energy, which means people who would normally have kind of picked fun at you, tried to stir the pot, tried to trigger you and things, you're going to see them naturally drift away. So it's important that you allow yourself to let them do what it is that they need to do, and let them allow life to guide them where it is that they need to go. You know, you both want different things. You're both very different people, and it's important that you honor that path for yourselves. You know what I'm saying? These sorts of people that have been falling away and have fallen away, you weren't good for each other's sustainability in the long term anyway. Compatibility and sustainability are very different things. Compatibility is for the moment. Sustainability is forever. You know, and yeah, if you were to be honest with yourself and look at certain connections it is that you've struggled to let go of in the past, or certain memories that invoke feelings in your present, those are the things that your feminine energy are bringing up so that you can let go of, so that you can be aware of what it is that you're letting go of. Because when your mind gains awareness of what the subconscious mind is bringing to the surface, you gain an unshakable commandership over that flow of energy and over how that energy affects you, because you understand it, you're enlightened to it. And that's why I say to a lot of people, which I think you will find you are very gifted at, that the best way to overcome fear, to overcome worry, to overcome challenge is to face it head on, to accept it for what it is. And I think this is what you guys have learned and are learning to do. And you really do promote this for other people outside of you. You are a very strong advocate of change. From what I see here, you help people to appreciate what it means to preserve one's goodness in life, the good qualities of oneself. You know what I'm saying? And as you do this within other people, have you ever wondered what the motivating force is behind that? I think it's your Chiron placement. In your astrology chart, you're very driven by your Chiron placement, and whatever it is that your Chiron dominates in, I think you might find you dominate in that energy throughout your whole astrology chart if you are into astrology. And what I just heard is your resilience is unmatched. And I don't know why, but your resilience really shines through you. It's an attractive quality and skill you've developed within yourself. And when you are in situations that, you know, put your back against the wall, pile number one, your resilience is like phenomenal. It's almost like an undefeatable force within you. And in the past, some people might have even have said, like, there's two sides to you, is what I just heard coming from the moon in the background. There's two sides to you. A side that everyone knows, and then a side that not many people do. I think you're quite reserved, and that's what taught you the wisdom of what it means to self-preserve in the first place. The people who know you well, and the people who encourage your divine feminine energy within you, are people who have the pleasure of experiencing your comfort, your comforting and nurturing qualities. You are someone who is extremely protective of those that you love. The meek and the mild is what I just heard. And you are able to call, or you're quick to call out hidden agendas, hidden motives, fake or false personas of other people, because you sense it out, pile number one. And this is a mastery of your feminine energy within you, by the way. Your feminine energy is very abundant. It's very good at attracting abundance, because your feminine energy knows that is the value. Like your feminine, your inner nature is your value. Your love is your value and your power. And I think where you're being guided is to learn what it means to love the feminine, your inside world, all the things that you don't consciously really pay attention to, and that you kind of I just heard undermined. You know better, but sometimes you don't do better, and that's not a negative thing. It's a quote that I have used. It's a philosophy of mine, we'll put it that way. I think you're someone who gets very strong intuitive guidance, very strong intuitive advice, and sometimes you don't follow it. Pile number one, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by you know better but don't do better. And I think you've been through lessons that has really taught you about what it means to trust this essence within yourself, to trust your morality, to trust your humility, to trust your judgment and character, to trust you have the ability to make the best out of life based on what you know about yourself and your own awarenesses, past lessons. Those who are active in their spiritual journey, you guys do have the gift of reading past lives, and this is an untapped potential that you're going to see rising to the surface within you. It's from your inner crone. I just heard some of you, it's a grandmother who's teaching you because it was a gift that was inherited. For others of you, it's because you have a gift to collect. It's because you have a gift to connect to the collective consciousness. You can predict trends before they happen, pile number one. And you can also see how social movements affect people in the long run. And I think you're very good at pointing these things out, and also seeing how it is that certain potentials are too restless to be sustainable in the long run. You see things very clearly. And I think you're being called by your divine feminine energy to stand up in your world and speak the truths that you see more. Those are the messages that I have for you today, pile number one. Thank you so very much for stopping by and allowing me to connect with you and your energy today. With all that being said, I hope this has found you well, and until next time, bye. Hello, pile number two, and welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here today. So I'm being drawn away from this deck and I'm being directed to another one. I just heard never forget. What does that mean? I see you driving downtown with the girl I love, and I'm like, forget you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough, and I'm like, forget you. And you guys have been putting in a lot of hard work to move away from the traumas of the past, and to also convert your traumas into life lessons and wisdom. What I see here, the alchemist, this is all about transformation of energy. So that's just in support of the message that I was picking up on in energy. Spirit really wants to tell you that your divine feminine energy, the way your divine feminine energy has been moving through you, I just saw the bee totem, which actually came from the deck that I just put down. So I don't know why Spirit directed me to this card, this deck. But the way your feminine energy likes to move through you, you don't know you're a queen or a king. You don't know your prestige within yourself. Your feminine energy, pile number one, comes directly from the heart, like legit. And that is your crowning glory. People will never forget the kindness that you've shown people, the love that you've taught people. And people will never forget the wrongs that they did by you. This is because the very foundation of your existence is built on love. And I don't want to sound like impractical in any sort of way, shape or form, or ungrounded. What I mean is, you are very pure of intention, pile number two. And when I'm saying this, I'm speaking to a very gentle part of you, a very small, well, you hold this part small because it's been hurt so many times, but it's a part of you that is very genuine, very precious. And when people need love the most, they remember you because they remember how purely you gave yourself to them. And I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I hope you know, in the end, it is their loss. Truthfully, it's their loss. I mean, I hope you don't hold these things against yourself. And I feel like you have moved through cycles of learning what it means to get past these sorts of things and see yourself in a different way. And that is the untapped potential here. You're going to be awakening to a new way of seeing yourself, your past, your connections. And you're going to be seeing from a higher perspective, pile number 2, or in a deeper way, what it means to express your pain. But it's not in pain, it's not in ways of like projecting pain. This is in ways of like appreciating pain. How can I put this, please? From your pain, you're going through deep spiritual growth. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Your higher self came through, at least the higher self of the collective came through pile number 2 and told me, through your pain, you have assessed what it means to grow. You've learned what it means to change and create freedom for yourself to be yourself. You've learned the language of energy through pain. It's taught you a lot about yourself, and it's also taught you a lot about duality and polarity, the opposite ends of the same spectrum, a different side of the same coin. You would be the people, funny, creator came out, I was going to call you guys a wizard. You would be my wizards, my witches, my alchemists. You would be my magi's, my divinationists, my light workers. People who are very, very focused on their soul's journey right now, their soul's purpose here. Getting to know who it is that they are so that they can offer that to the world, the best versions of what they know of themselves to the world, and to also know how to discipline the not so best versions of ourselves. You've learned to embrace both the shadow aspects and the light aspects through the things you have gone through, and this is your untapped potential. You don't see how powerful this makes you. You don't see how influential this makes you. Because in the worst sorts of situations in life, you will be able to make the best out of them. And through the best situations, you will be able to uplift those who are in the worst. And this is not through you intentionally doing anything. It's through you being and living authentically that you do this. And this is what you're awakening to, is the untapped potential within you. You are here to create the life it is that you wish to live, and to live the change and become what it is that you wish to see in this world. Pile number 2. A card to identify the divine feminine energy within. Pile number 2, please. Guides, guardians, and universe. Energies in service of the highest and greatest light of those who have come to you. Pile number 2. Divine feminine energy. How would you like to express yourself through those who have come to view this pile? Take leadership in your life and understand that you have the ability to navigate and manage yourself, your judgments, your role and position wisely. These are both 2 of the most powerful totems of their elements. Pile number 2, which means you have the ability to shine wherever it is that you choose to apply yourself. Whatever it is that you choose to do, you will attract people, because it's not what you do that is your purpose. It's who you are that is your purpose. You're born with your purpose. It's not something outside of you. It's not something that you do. It's something that you can recreate in what you do. but your purpose is who you are. You know? I'm hearing my guides tell me not to give up trying to translate this message to you because I'm struggling. I'm struggling. You guys have a personal authority about you that is well disciplined, pile number 2. And your ability to balance your ambitions, your actions, your desires with your ability to understand your impact, how far these things can go, what they can evolve into, how they can be used in good and bad ways, is how your feminine energy wishes to be expressed through you. It wants you to utilize its ability of innocent intention to master appreciation of what it means to heal oneself. And once you can appreciate what it means to heal, let go, to welcome, embrace, you are able to learn or abstract the wisdom of how it is that you can guide and teach others. You're a pathfinder. You're someone who is connected to the realm of limitless possibility, free of obstruction, pile number 2, at your soul. And this is what your feminine energy wants you to know and will be helping you to align in and embody over the next 30 to 60 days. A way of you understanding yourself is coming to a complete end. And this, like what I heard was a Taylor Swift song, which is funny because I don't actually listen to Taylor Swift, but it was the blurb where she comes in and she brings in a dialogue of saying, something about you want to talk to Taylor, or she can't come to the phone right now because she's dead. Like, that's what I heard. You guys have totally reinvented yourself, and your whole perception of self is changing with support of your feminine energy. And this is going to help you to kind of understand what it is that you can really build for yourself and how far it is that you can go, how much comfort you can provide yourself. All right. Feminine energy. How would you like to connect best to? What is it that you need your viewer to know? What your feminine energy wants you to know is that there's a purpose behind the destruction that you have seen. Speak the truth of what it is that you know and seek out the information that will provide you with clarity from the people that you know, can trust, from the sources and resources that you have accesses to. There's a lot that has been going wrong or that has fallen away in your past. And I think you guys have been through you guys have been through very sudden changes, dramatic changes and shifts. But what you need to know is that this was because in the past you were resistant to making the changes it was that you needed to see, and the need for change accumulated so much that the density of it manifested in the ways that it needed to. The universe and spirit and the flow of life have a way of doing this for us when we don't do it for ourselves. And through destruction, we are able to bring order to the chaos and create peace. Another way that you can relate this to yourself, if that part of the message did not resonate with you, pile number 2, through understanding your shadow, you gave birth to the shadow's light. You know how to use your shadow in its best possible ways, which means, was it really shadow to begin with, or did you just not know how to ignite it yet? That is the process that you are going through, and that's the untapped potential I see that you've been learning more about recently. Advice for pile number 2, moving forward and embracing the feminine energy within. The advice for you over the next 30 to 60 days is to surrender to the truth of what you know and come to learn about yourself. Life will pull you into directions and into the circumstances and situations that will support you to speak this truth into your world. But there's once again, you guys have accumulated so much. You need to do something with it. You need to do something with it. And it's not because there's a duty or a responsibility to it. It's what is going to help you to heal and to embrace the wholeness of who you are, to embrace the totality of who it is that you are. And this is where you will find your most advancement within your spiritual journey. From what I'm seeing in these cards with surrender and wisdom, you're growing, pile number 2. And you're not as simple as what you tried to comprehend yourself to be. You're a paradox. Your infinite levels of perceptions. Your infinite versions of choices. And it is your soul that directs all of that. You are the commander of that space in your world and in your life, because you choose who you want to be, and you choose who you allow around you. You choose the experiences you wish to participate in, and you choose how it is that triggers or beacons of information outside of you trigger you. You choose. And this is the mastery that you're going to be stepping into over the next 30 to 60 days. So trust yourself moving forward. You've done so much work, and you're ready and very well deserving of the returns. Those are the messages I have for you today, pile number 2. Thank you so very much for stopping by and visiting my channel. Don't forget to check out the second half of how it is that you can learn how to embrace these feminine aspects of yourselves and use it in the best possible way to manifest results outside of you on Jax's channel. Once again, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this has found you well, and until next time, bye. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for being here today. So we're going to take a look into the feminine energy. Now, for some reason, before I hit record, I got asked to explain more in depth what the feminine energy is. The way, I won't tell you what it is, because you'll be here for months on end if I was to really go into depth. So to summarize everything, and in the way it is that the feminine energy is moving through you guys right now, is to highlight that your feminine energy is your inner essence. It is your inner nature. It is your inner experience. That is why the feminine energy is classed as the shadow, because it is the internal existence that you do not see that still takes place, and then is expressed through the external version of yourself. Does that make sense? And this is the way that Jax and I are approaching these readings. So the way that I'm looking into it is I'm taking a look at the internal untapped potential that is wanting to come through you, and Jax is looking at the potential that is ready to come through you and how it is that you can use that in the best possible way to create the best possible outcome in your reality. And this is why the feminine energy is first. This is what everyone talks about when they say it's the rise of the divine feminine, it's the rise of self-awareness, it's the rise of self-enlightenment, it's the rise of self-mastery. The masculine world is what we are in. That's why we are man outside. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I hope that helps someone, and I wasn't just aimlessly explaining myself. But let's go ahead and take a look at what it is that you guys are focused on. What I just heard was absolute, an absolute. So I think you guys have been focusing on moving through life cycles and learning how to balance opposing forces and energies with concentration and focus. I think you've had a lot going on in your life, and you've put a lot of effort into starting off new projects. Pile number 3, perhaps these things had also got off to a little bit of a rocky start. But this is the way that your feminine energy has been expressing through you. Your feminine energy is also bringing message that prepare yourself, because you're being ready to receive the recognition and results of what you deserve from what you invested into what you were doing. So if you've had a particular focus like entrepreneurship, a project, something that was very, very meaningful to you recently, and you've been working really hard, this could even be balancing family dynamics and daily schedules with sleeping patterns. You've done very well. You know what I'm saying? And I know that might sound a little bit to some people, but that's the reality of it. We all struggle with something. And the something that we struggle with isn't the focus. It's the struggle of struggling that we focus. You know what I'm saying? This is what your feminine energy is doing. It's not highlighting the things outside of you. It's highlighting the things inside of you right now, pile number 3. So how is it that your feminine energy would like to describe itself? It describes itself as an energy that is extremely honest, extremely authentic, extremely patient. It is a powerhouse within you. You're nurturing and feminine aspects to self, your talents, your skill sets, your resources, your ability to cultivate your resources is a power that you might underestimate, because your depth of knowledge behind motivation, your depth of knowledge behind authenticity, following the heart, listening to the self, and expressing that outside of you is very important to your feminine energy. Being understood by others outside of you by creating intentional reflections through you. So I'd say you guys are very expressive when it comes to how it is that you dress. You might have nice fashion, a particular sense of style that marks a particular focus of your personality. You guys could be very expressive in decoration within your home. And I also just saw something about you keep a lot of your interests around you. Say, for example, if you're a tarot reader, you have tons and tons and tons and tons of tarot decks, oracle decks, divination tools. If you are a writer, you have tons and tons of books that you've written, that you've read all around you, that sort of thing. Your common interests you keep close to you, and you are empowered by that, so you enjoy expressing those things outside of you. This is a natural call from your feminine energy. It's very good at putting into words and describing the internal experience as well, pile number 3. And with your own self-understanding and self-awareness, you also promote self-awareness in other people. Whether you know this or not, you might actually be seen as a teacher. You are seen as a teacher, someone who is extremely loyal, extremely selfless to the people that they love and keep around them. You are very, very strict in your services as well. Do you know what I'm saying? You're very methodical, you're very planned, and because of this, it brings abundance to you. You're very well thought out, and I think you inspire a lot of self-realization within the people around you through your insights and expressions of insights of self to those outside of you. You're very highly intelligent within your emotional realm. Pile number 3. You help also teach and highlight to people what it is that they need to release themselves from, how it is that they need to create better boundaries for themselves. And I think this is because you've come from 2 different please don't take this personally. I'm just highlighting a life lesson that your guides or the energy is showing me. You guys have experienced 2 extremes of the same spectrum. A good way that I could put this, not saying that this was you guys, apply it as it fits, but you were once a bully, so you know what it takes to nurture people. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm getting here is a sense of someone who has put in severe shadow self work. Severe shadow self work. And this is why you're so loyal. This is why you're so dedicated. This is why you're so devoted to morals, to love, because you disciplined yourself through things that you were afraid to. And you faced a lot of darkness that you wish you didn't have to times ago. But now, in the version of yourself that you stand today, I think you're more thankful for it than what you are regretful. Because if it wasn't for those things, you wouldn't have such a deep understanding of yourself to then help teach others. And the funny thing is, you're so humble, you don't even see yourself as a teacher. You don't. What I just heard, you don't. Instead, you see yourself as a student consistently learning, which honestly, naturally puts you in the position of the teacher. Because you are a student to life, which is, your master is life itself. You know? Which means life will teach you to master yourself, because life is a master of itself in itself. You know what I'm saying? And because you have mastery over self, you're aware of self, and you're aware of the influence that you create outside of you, the change and transformation you bring and can bring. Yeah, people see you as the leader. They see you as the teacher. They see you as someone who has a lot of depth, information, insight, experience, and power. People kind of are afraid of you. Well, number 3, in some senses, it's because of you look hard on the outside, but really on the inside, your heart, the love that you have is unmeasurable, and it is, I just heard pristine. Your love is pristine. It's a gift. It truly is a gift. And your feminine energy wishes you to know this. Like, I just heard the feminine energy wishes to highlight this immediately. It's very straightforward to you. You know what I'm saying? Your inner existence is very straightforward to you. You probably experience more of life internally than what you experience life through experiences externally. And that is quite literally the path of the light worker, the spiritual worker, the aware. You know, I won't say woke anymore, because that trend became something else. I don't know what that is, but woke was supposed to mean enlightenment, to my understanding, and that's exactly what enlightenment is. Complete and totality understanding. You know, and I think you guys really do simplify things in this way. You see the root core of what things are, because you're observant, you watch, and you ask the necessary questions. You also, I think you're focused on reshaping your goals into something even better through your past experiences. Like, there's something where there was a sudden change, I think, that actually helped you to have a self-realization that is now pushing you in new directions. And the way your feminine energy wants you, or is inviting you to see the challenges that come up as refinements. Okay. How is it that the feminine energy wishes to express itself moving forward? The feminine energy wishes to express its wisdom. The whale has an ability to delve very deep into the subconscious mind. It is one of the totems that has direct connection with the Akashic records, which means you're very well aware of most things that go around you. Go on around you, pile number 3. And your guides kind of want you to talk about it more. Express yourself in authentic ways more. When you feel like you should speak, speak, please. Don't hold yourself back. Don't hold yourself back from saying the truth, because the only injustice you're bringing is injustice to self, because you're holding yourself back from being who it is that you are, and also affecting them by robbing them of the wisdom you know that would help them. Yeah? It's not criticism. It's really not. If anything, this is what is going to push you into the position of outshining some darkness that you see a lot of people in. I don't know. There's something here that you're going to be very well known for, pile number 3. And, yeah, don't give up. Keep following your instincts. And also, perhaps, what am I feeling? I don't know. I think you guys are like, well, what's next? Like, what do I do? Because that's what I keep meeting. It's like, you know that there's something else, but you don't know what it is. I had the underworld come out here and dare to dream. There are dreams that you have from a long time ago that you forgot about, and that Once you remember what those forgotten dreams were, then you're going to know what you need to do. Then you're going to know where it is that you need to delve, what it is that you need to focus on, and what it is that you need to bring back up to the surface that you know is going to help you in your journey. Your main focus is really overcoming what's been holding you back from progression. What I see here, yeah. Progression with you becoming your best possible self. That is the untapped potential I see here. You moving past challenges, you moving past influences, releasing conditions. Seeing the beauty that came from the ugly and using that in the best possible way to cultivate the best possible outcomes that can come from what it is that you've learned. I see a panda totem here, and I also see... what is that? Hold on, sorry, 2 seconds. Horse totem. True abundance for you is going to come from your freedom to express yourself and be your authentic self in the world around you, pile number 3, not money. The more you can be yourself, the more you're going to find money just naturally come to you. I don't know why, I don't know how. I leave that in the hands of spirit, who are very, very, very strong around you. Your ancestors have a very deep love for you, deep support for you, and I feel like you're people who have walked very long journeys alone in the external world, which is why your internal world, spirit, stay very close to you through your DNA access. Truly. That might sound crazy to you. What I mean here is your DNA is always active within you. Consciously, you don't see how it is active, but it is always active. Trust. And this is how your spirit team come to you. They come through you to your heart, and they affect your internal system. This is the language of energy, spirit. Any additional messages for those who have come to view? Pile number 3. What is it that they need to hear before I close this reading? You are being reborn. You feel like you don't know what's up, and you're feeling like, well, now what? Because you are in a new version of self. Your next steps are self-discovery, pile number 3. And really, that's what I have for you here today. Yep. What this says is the time has come and the time is now. Number 23. 3 and 2 reduces down to 5. And this card here also pile number 3. I'm sorry, I'm just regrounding. Your guys' energy is very restless and you're losing focus very, very quickly. It's just because you're coming back into alignment. Don't let this frustrate you too much. Just go with the flow of how you feel right now and be in your own energy. Be gentle with yourself as you're rediscovering yourself here over the next 30 days. So those are the messages I have for you today. I hope this has found you well and come with positive purpose to you. I felt a little different throughout this reading than what I normally do, so I hope it made sense. But with all that being said, if you guys want to check out the second half of this reading, once again, Jax's link will be in my description below and also tagged in the title of this reading. Be sure to head over there and show him some love and support. He's an amazing reader, and I think you guys would really find enjoyment by learning through him and from him. If you need to, that is, you know. Okay, anyway, pile number 3, I'll let you guys go now. See you later. Much love. Bye. Hello, pile number 4, and welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for being here today. So tapping into your guys' energy. Speedy. What I heard was Speedy Gonzalez. And now I'm seeing the cheetah totem and the raccoon come through here. Okay. So the way your feminine energy is supporting you, pile number 4. The way your feminine energy is supporting you right now is being expressed through your ability to handle anything with grace, speed, and agility or adaptability. the raccoon is saying that your feminine energy likes to use its inner resourcefulness, and the raccoon is a legendary totem for things such as resourcefulness. It is a very intelligent totem. It has the ability to kind of make anything work in its favor. So your feminine energy helps you to use everything that has ever tried to work against you and evolve that into something that aids you, helps you, builds you. You know what I'm saying? Your feminine energy reminds you that everything is an addition. Nothing is a subtraction. Everything is an addition, and how you choose to use that addition in your world, in your life, through your free will. Your feminine energy affirms and declares is your command. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are the master of your domain, really, your life. Yeah, from what I'm hearing here. I also just heard pile number 4. You might have followed through from number 3, but pile number 4, there's got to be some form of amends made in love. That's what your feminine energy does. It pushes you to make amends in love. Because a lot of your focus, a lot of the time, from what I'm being told here, is focused in the external world. You know what I'm saying? You're very much grounded in the masculine energy of the manifest on the outside. You live, I wouldn't say a rigid life, because it's not rigid. But some people might have tried to make you out to be a rigid sort of person. A one way of being, a one way of thinking, a very narrow-minded person, but you're not. You're not. That's how you use your focus. And I think the untapped potential here, pile number 4, things are going to change for you. A lot. Like, your focus is going to change. It'd still be balanced in energy on your, on work and money and, the responsibilities and duties of life. But I feel here what you're going to be tapping into is your ability to rebuke negative energy. And I just heard revoke. Revoke, testimonies is what I just heard. So I don't know what that actually means, but perhaps some of you guys might work in law, or have recently been thinking about taking something to court. If so, I don't think you're going to want to do that. I think you're going to change your mind, because you're going to discover some new forms of information. So if you're thinking about going to court for something, I would hold off. Because your situation, I don't think you want to involve the law. I don't think it would help. And if anything, I think that is what would have to make you rigid if you're in a situation that, is starting to get a bit heavy. Just know things are going to be changing and purifying pretty quickly. Because what I see here is your main focus is going to be placed into the direction of purification of negative influences, negative mindsets, depression, melancholy, contempt, and to reconcile and make amends with past versions of yourself that you probably took. I just heard you abused. Perhaps you went through a lot of self-harming cycles in the past, and unintentionally you may have also affected certain people outside of you in ways that you didn't really mean to. And I see here, pile number 4, that your focus is guided by your feminine energy, is going to be pushed into areas where you make amends with things, and it's going to be teaching you the life lesson or wisdom behind the true art of forgiveness, which is not what most people think. The art of forgiveness is to let go of the past, and to let go of the ways that the past has influence in our present moment. Not to forget what happened, not to invalidate what you went through. Forgiveness is not to make anyone right or wrong either. It's not to do with that. Forgiveness is all to do with release and being bound. Those who struggle to forgive situations and people, they bind themselves to the same repetitive pain because it's not released. It's still in focus, though it's not at the frontal lobe of your brain or of your mind. And I think once you focus on purifying yourself of all the truths that you know are, and you make amends with the truths that you know are, you're going to step into a position where you become a powerful purifier of people in the world outside of you. How does the feminine energy wish to express itself? How does it wish to be identified? So your feminine energy wants to be identified as your inner teacher, as your inner guide, as a unique force within you. One that is focused on social orientation, one that is focused on service of the highest and greatest good of all involved in the long run. Your feminine energy is very good at being kind of sneaky to retain information, but it's not sneakiness with the intent of badness. It's more like, I know how to get what I need to find out, and that's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? Because then you use that in better ways later. So I think in the past, a lot of people have probably misinterpreted your motives and projected their perspective of you onto you, and in the past you probably adopted their perspective but embodied it. Number 4, and this is what your feminine energy is trying to help you with, is to regain your confidence and trust within yourself, to know who it is that you are, and to know that the choices that you make are reflecting who it is that you are. That's what your feminine is saying you've been at a conflict with lately, is sensing what you know is the truth, accepting the truth, and then putting that into action. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just for some of you. I'm going to just be straight up and direct here. Some of you, yes? You guys have a negative mindset, and you became a victim when you chose to adopt the truth of a victim. You are not what you thought, and you have the ability to make it through your depression, but you have to want the healing to receive the healing. You have to be ready and willing to do the work to see the result. And this is what your feminine energy is reminding you and teaching you right now. And that is the untapped potential within your feminine energy that is trying to gift this freedom to you. Freedom from oppression, freedom from repression, freedom from captivity was what I just heard. You guys hold yourselves back so much. So much. And you have so much potential, uniqueness, originality, individuality that you don't bring to your surface, that your feminine self is working with your higher self to bring that out so that you can embody it. Truthfully is what I just heard. Oh, and I just heard, watch your mouth. That you guys are talking to me. I'm sorry. I feel like you guys are talking to me. The reason why you would put so much focus into your material realm, pile number 4, was because you thought that those were the things that you wanted. You thought you wanted the things that you put so much focus into. And I think you've come to the realization that not all the things that you thought you wanted is actually what you want. And what I just heard was, don't pride yourself on the stuff that you see. And that might trigger you a little bit, because I just got like a little bit of a, yeah, don't pride yourself on the things that you can receive, because they don't mean anything. The stuff you have doesn't leave the impact. Who it is that you are leaves the impact. You know, the things that you choose to do is the image you link yourself to. And that's what you're amending. The image you once projected yourself as, to now kind of correct. You're correcting that to then reveal who it is that you truly are. But it's dedicating to who it is that you truly are and devoting yourself to who it is that you truly are. That is your untapped potential right now. So what is the advice from your divine feminine energy to help you moving forward? Sorry guys, I'm just being honest. I'm just the bridge. I'm just the bridge. Ugh. What I'm hearing here is that some of you guys have been dragging your feet in facing what it is that you know you need to, because you perceive doing the right thing as admitting defeat. And it's not. It's going to benefit you most of all out of everybody. If there's a situation that you need to make amends with, yes, pile number 3. And this situation might not be a situation. It might be a relationship and a perspective that you share with yourself. Once you do this, I just lost the card. Everything you were once worried about will fall away. Every misinterpretation that you held of yourself and that people held of you will dissipate completely. And you will feel understood. You will feel whole, because you're embracing your real truth. That you will embrace your real truth instead of embracing your pain. And defining yourself with pain, because you aren't your pain. You are beneath your pain. Does this make sense? Your pain is your mask. The truth of who you are is much more beautiful than that. And very, very shortly, your feminine and your higher self is going to push you into a revolution, a self-revolution. You're going to have very strong epiphanies, very strong self-realizations. A lot of deep reflections are going to be brought to your surface as visions almost, or memories. And these are going to be sent directly from your feminine self, your feminine energy, your divine feminine being. The uniqueness that wants to come outside of you is the feminine. That is your guide. That is whispering to you like, hi, I'm here. And why you're so miserable is because you're ignoring who you are. Heed the call, is what I just heard. Heed the call. What can they expect as a result if they follow your advice? You will be able to take inspired action to create and fulfill the duty and responsibilities that you have been juggling. You'll feel much more secure within yourself and within your position in life. And you'll be much happier. You'll feel much more connected to the people around you. You'll have a deeper, look, forgiveness just came up. You'll have a deeper resonance with people and start to attract better people in, because your mindset, your attitude, your behaviors, your alignment has changed, which means you've granted change to the types of people, connections and relationships you bring in, and you change what you contribute. If you change what you contribute and you contribute what it is that you wish to receive, you will see the outcomes that you're wanting. But there is a need for an attention to the detail of what it is that you've been projecting, because by changing what you project, you find your solution to whatever it is that has been going on. that has been blocking the truth of your untapped potential, which is purification. The ability to understand oneself and step into your individuality, which will teach you the truth of your wisdom that you will then bring into your world in the future. Does that make sense? So advice moving forward. Advice moving forward for my pile number 4s. Cast away out of your depth, feeling abandoned. Number 11. I wonder what will happen next. Ready to adventure. See this as an opportunity to really make progress towards what it is that you want. For a long time, you've felt stagnant and stuck. You know, celebrate the fact that you're becoming free, and your focus that will come as a result of freedom to be yourself will be, what's next? How can I grow? That's where you see progress. What is it that I want for myself? What will really be fulfilling to me at this time? And if those things change with time, you have the ability to adapt, you know. So advice moving forward is completely commit to the truth of yourself, the truth of your wants, the truth of your needs, the truth of your desires, and the truth of what is appropriate and required of you to make the changes that you wish to see, wish to experience, and wish to embody. Pile number 4. So those are the messages I have for you today. That was a very transformative reading. That's why it was so direct and sounded so harsh, because you guys are going through a huge transformation, of huge purification, truthfully. Purification that will unblock your understanding of spirit and your purpose here. So I think at the end of it all, it's actually a very beautiful thing. And I am very, very excited for you, because you guys are going to be stepping into a whole new reality. It's going to blow your brains, really. And I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. Living for it. I celebrate you guys, you know. Well done to you for not ever giving up, by the way. Your resourcefulness, amazing. Amazing. So those are the messages I have for you today. I hope this has found you well. Don't forget to go and check out the second half of this reading, where Jax will touch on the masculine side, how it is that you can utilize your untapped potential to then create the best possible outcomes in your reality outside of you. So thank you so very much for stopping by, and until next time, see you later. Bye. Pile number 5. Hello and welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for being here today. So taking a look at the feminine side of the collaboration between me and Jax Atlantis, and tapping into your guys' energies. I'm feeling a high priestess energy here. Hello. You guys are very, very much in touch with your intuition, and you understand your intuition and internal experience of feminine energy extremely well. You've done a lot of soul work, I see here, a lot of transmutation. And I saw a caterpillar, a butterfly, and a dove, and a otter. I saw the otter. You guys have a very strong connection to your ancestors, by the way. Pile number 5. You have a very strong connection to your ancestors. I think you come from a long line of psychics, witches, clairvoyants, claircognizants, priests, priestesses. Some of your family members in the past could have even have been like legit priests of a religion. I just heard, yeah, your forefathers. Some of you. So I see here a lot of your focuses recently, pile number 5, have been on releasing yourself from stress. Your guides want to say, I'm proud for you. I would say of you, but that I don't like using that for some reason. Them saying I'm proud of you would be like them saying I'm responsible for your achievement. That's why they say I'm proud for you, because they're proud that you had the ability to achieve what you have so far. Pile number 5. I also think your main focus has been on reflecting in your life at the causes, the root seeded issues that is generating experiences that, I mean, that you don't really want to be experiencing. Let's be real here. I think you guys have far too many responsibilities. You guys are overcommitting yourself to too many different jobs. And this is the messages that your feminine energy is highlighting to me. It's draining you of your vitality. It's making you tired. Just know that there's nothing actually hidden from you here, pile number 5. Some of you are worried about finding something else out. Like there's something here that you guys keep looking into or wanting to know about, or a person or something that you keep working on, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know why, but it's stressing you out. So right now, it's important that you guys focus on balancing out your focuses in general. And I think that's what you've been doing through the guidance of your feminine energy here. What's your feminine energy been focusing in on? Your feminine energy has been focusing in on areas of your life where things have become outdated. Things were misinterpreted. And your feminine energy has also been examining, once again, why certain things keep happening. Like cycles, root seeds of situations, so you can like uproot the seed to stop the cycle. I also feel as though a lot of you guys have been going through situations which is going to touch in on your untapped potential of what's to come through you. You guys have been awakening or realizing that there's more to life than what you've been experiencing. And it's encouraging your subconscious mind to propel you into action, to propel you into your inspired impulse here. So what your feminine is encouraging that you do more of is allow yourself to stand out through taking inspiration, being receptive to the inspiration, by embracing your beauty and your talents and your skill sets and allowing yourself to shine for that. This is what is going to help you to cleanse away things that have been stifling your courage, or things that had been threatening your potential to shine. I hope that makes sense. Let's take a deeper look into what it is that your feminine energy is saying. So your feminine is actually very, very compassionate. I saw the deer totem in my mind's eye here. A deer totem running through a forest and then coming across a child and stopping and looking at it and then walking up to the child and like nuzzling it on the face was what I saw. So I feel like you guys, your divine feminine energy is beautiful because it is nurturing to the wounds of others around you. You bring compassion to those in ways that is phenomenal, unmatched. And what people want to say to you is they see you as a big teddy bear, a comforter, something that they want to keep around them, something that they love very dearly, and something that's like a treasure. You know what I'm saying? You are a treasure to people around you, and you really are. That's not me blowing smoke. You really, really are. To the people around you, you come across very beautiful because you're very serene in your intentions. Your intentions is to bring peace to those of the suffering I see here. And you use your intuition and your abilities to understand unperceived insight to help and direct others into better areas or better beginnings in life. People love your eyes, by the way. They love your eyes. They're very sweet, is what I just heard. And the other thing is, the way it is that your divine feminine energy likes to be expressed through you is by embracing joy in your life. You are someone who amplifies joy. People love to have you around. People would say that you are the life of the party. They think you're someone who... Did I just hear anxiety? Do you guys have social anxiety? Some of you guys? Oh, I get it. Some are saying that from who it is that you've come to discover within yourself, you're going to learn to discover more about yourself, or you're going to see yourself more deeply. And what's going to happen is you're going to bring more of your authentic self out and hone in on your talents to nurture other people and use this in a way to create happier endings for yourself, for your world around you. You're inspiring a greater change within the collective that is going to last a much longer lifetime than what you are able to live. You know what I'm saying? This is what you are working towards. This is what you are contributing to at a soul level. And this is what your divine feminine energy likes to do. This is why you're so... you're someone who prioritizes happiness, peace, care, innocent fun. You also protect the innocence of others around you. You aren't judgmental people for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And what Spirit, the feminine, is wanting to say for you is you're the one who needs more fun right now. You deserve more fun. You deserve to set yourself free of all of these strings that have been tied to you recently, that has been holding you back from kind of experiencing the lightness of life, because your focus has been pulled in so many places that have been weighing you down, really. And I think this is partially because of your environment, your focuses, or your work life, just the people around you, you know. Okay, so what is the untapped potential of the divine feminine energy within my pile number 5s, please? Interesting. I've never had this come through this card before. What I'm hearing is that your untapped potential... Your untapped potential is illuminating the necessity of self-appreciation. And this is because you haven't taken the time out to appreciate and love yourself yet. Not recently. And this is what is going to activate your untapped potential. You're going to recognize a lot of ideas that you've underestimated, a lot of misperceptions of self. And it's going to evolve and it's going to change, and you're going to see how it is that you can use your awareness and what you know about yourself in a new way. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that you already are aware of, but you're honing in on it, evolving it, and it's maturing. Does that make sense? It's advancing. You're gaining a deeper enlightenment behind the true potency of your feminine energy. You are naturally quite divine, feminine in your ways of being. You're very sensual. You're very influential. You're very nurturing. You know what I'm saying? And people need you. They look up to you as like a guide. Pile number 5. And that is the untapped potential that I see you guys are going to be stepping into. And as I look just down, now I saw 1122, and that's all about manifesting better beginnings for yourself, manifesting the evolution of balance within your karmic cycles. So right now, the message that I just heard to leave you guys with is that life is much like a pendulum that oscillates between 2 states. Between oscillating through those 2 states, it experiences the sway, and this is the journey. You're going to start to appreciate the journey before you reach the high point and the low point. The high point and low point are no longer going to be a focus for you. It's the middle point. It's the balance of the two. that you are going to be kind of focusing in on and becoming hypersensitive to when it comes to your everyday routines outside of you over the next 60 days. I just heard balance is going to be the major focus. Temperance, self-discipline. Please remember that discipline does not mean forcing a condition. Discipline means learning what it means to manage and navigate life through your authentic self. Knowing yourself means you know how to keep your primal version of self, your uncivilized version of self, the harmful expressions and projections of yourself in discipline, so that you can allow all the rest of yourself to shine through you without control, without the need for attention, without the need of consistent observation. Does that make sense? I want to give you guys like something that you guys can look forward to, because I don't feel like this was a reading that went much in depth. I think the other half of this read is going to be more useful for you guys. To be honest, pile number 5, Jax's side of the reading is going to be most of service to you right now, because once again, you're already very much in touch and aligned with your inner self. You're learning how to apply your inner self in the outer world in the best way. And that's the focus here. So what is it that they can look forward to moving into the next 60 days? Is domestic harmony, balance. Learning how to balance your internal world with your external, learning how to balance your internal world with your external connections, creating harmony, resolution, all of that sorts of good stuff. You're going to feel much more serene, much more tranquil, much more better, and much more less stressed at the end of these next coming weeks, pile number 5. So those are the messages I have for you today. Thank you so very much for visiting. I hope this has found you well, and be sure to check out Jax Atlantis's other half of this collaboration. I'm very much looking forward to going to look into it myself. So yes, once again, I hope this has found you well, and until next time, bye.